So here we go. Will the 49ers beat the Philadelphia Eagles in this guy's return? Javon Hargrave, the former star Philadelphia Eagles defensive tackle, defected to the 49ers for big money this offseason. We talked about it in March. Could this be a shift in the balance of power atop the NFC? And it looks like it definitely might have contributed to that. On paper, the 49ers are a better team than the Eagles. I've talked about this a lot over the course of the week. When you look at the profiles of both teams this season, the 49ers have the number one offense. Philadelphia is down at middle of the pack defensively. That's a significant mismatch on paper in the 49ers' favor. The other side of the ball, it's a bit of a draw. Philadelphia really good offensively. Top 5 unit. The 49ers, though, really good defensively. Thanks in large part to the guy on your screen. 6 sacks already for the 49ers. Had 11 last season for Philadelphia. Pass rushing productivity similar, but maybe a little bit worse than it was in that contract year with the Eagles. Well, in the piece that's up on the screen, that's the prediction piece on The Athletic. You could find the link in the description. I talked to Javon Hargrave, and he said that he thinks he can still raise it up a notch this season. He still has a little left in the tank to hit that next gear. And the 49ers defensive line has put its money where its mouth is over the past 3 weeks. It's been the best defensive line in football. It's averaged 5 sacks a game, and it's ready for this titanic showdown against the Philadelphia offensive line that will probably be the best front the 49ers face. So you've got Lane Johnson against Nick Bosa. You've got Javon Hargrave working against the inside. Probably is going to see some of Jason Kelce in this game, the great Eagles center. On the other side, you have Chase Young against Jordan Mailata. Trench battles do not get any better than what we're going to see on Sunday. Everything is going to happen within the context of the quarterbacks on both teams. So when the 49ers are rushing the Eagles, it's going to be Jalen Hurts, who has the longest average snap to release time in the NFL at 3.1 seconds. It's going to put a huge amount of strain on the 49ers defense because Jalen Hurts likes to run around with the football. He likes to pick up yardage with his legs. He likes to buy time to find A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith downfield. He also has a new running back at his side in DeAndre Swift, who's going to be a challenge for the 49ers to stop. You have to stop the run to have some fun. But Jalen Hurts has 14 giveaways, and he's taken 29 sacks this season. So there have been downsides to his potentially explosive play that's led to a lot of gritty, come from behind Philadelphia victories. The 49ers have to make these downsides happen. So it's a top 5 Philadelphia offense, but I mean, the big asterisk is I think the 49ers have a potential here to make some negative plays. Last year, the 49ers gave up their cornerback, Charvarius Ward, and Diamond Lenore gave up only 2 catches and 16 yards combined. And that's against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So that's a big deal. That's a really big deal because in a more competitive environment for the defense, last year was tough because Brock Purdy got hurt so early in the game and the defense didn't really have a platform from which to succeed. In a really competitive environment for the defense, that means that the 49ers can, I think, hold their own. If that coverage can fuel the rush the way that some of the data suggested it can last year, but it just obviously wasn't a fair fight with Brock Purdy out in the offense, not able to deliver its end of the complementary equation. If that can happen, then the 49ers can slow this Eagles offense. It's a prolific Eagles offense down enough to win the game. Other side of the football, Brock Purdy is playing his best football of his career. I'm going to get into this a little bit more later on, but I talked about it yesterday in the preview of Brock Purdy and the 49ers offense against the Eagles defense. Purdy is processing stuff faster. The best example is the Brandon Ayuk touchdown against Seattle. Last year when Purdy got hurt against Philadelphia in that ferocious pass rush, he threw the ball late. He released the ball late to Brandon Ayuk, who was open downfield. When you watched Brock Purdy last week against Seattle, he threw the ball to Brandon Ayuk before he was out of his cut. He waited to throw after Brandon Ayuk was out of his cut last year against Philadelphia. The difference is one of probably about half a second at most, maybe even less than that. But the difference also in that half a second is an intact elbow and a touchdown versus a torn UCL, an extremely damaging play that led to a giveaway and gave the Eagles the upper hand in the NFC Championship game. So Brock Purdy has taken that next step as far as pocket presence goes. He's gotten a lot better over the course of the several months since the 49ers last faced the Eagles. And the Eagles have dropped off massively on defense. We're talking top 2, top 3 unit down to number 14. The run defense, DVOA, had not been great this year. Number 17 in the NFL, but the biggest deficiencies for the Eagles under a new defensive coordinator with some new personnel and Javon Hargrave now in the 49ers have come on pass defense over the middle. 95 QBR allowed on intermediate passes in between the numbers, and they're number 32 DVOA against tight ends. So take that for what it's worth if you have George Kittle on your fantasy team. Not like I care about your fantasy team. But the 49ers and Brock Purdy, who's been historically good on throws over the middle, seem to be well set up to challenge this Philadelphia defense, which might even be missing Zach Cunningham, the linebacker. And if you're struggling on intermediate middle passes, well, your linebackers are part of that. Now they may even have to go into depth at the linebacker position. So anyway, the question is, will the 49ers beat the Eagles? And to help answer the question, I went to the Liberty Bell in San Francisco. San Francisco's got a Liberty Bell too. It's actually Mexico's Liberty Bell, a replica of it. In 1810, the town of Dolores, after which this park is named, Mission Dolores Park. The town of Dolores rang this bell, or this is the replica of the bell that they rang, to bring up arms against the Spanish. You know that Philadelphia has a Liberty Bell too. Well, the difference between San Francisco and Philadelphia in terms of the Liberty Bell is that San Francisco's Liberty Bell is not cracked. So, will the 49ers beat the Eagles? Yes, the 49ers will beat the Eagles. They're a better team on paper. That much is indisputable. There's one area where Philadelphia has a significant edge on paper, and that's special teams. Special teams, Philly is a top 5 unit, and the 49ers have ranked number 27, and they've just lost George Odom, and that can be a big problem. So the 49ers must play special teams to a serve, and that can be tricky, but it could also be tricky for Philadelphia in the rain come Sunday. As long as the 49ers don't lose a massive amount of ground on special teams, the offensive and defensive battles cumulatively do skew in their favor, which is why they are favored to win this game. 49ers offense is better than the Eagles defense, and it's really hard to say that the Eagles offense is significantly better than the 49ers defense, especially the way it's been playing over the past 3 weeks ever since acquiring Chase Young. I'm going to be off to practice right now to give you the final statuses of Eric Armstead, Jordan Mason, Ray McLeod. That's a big name for 49ers special teams. But while I'm on my way, this is the piece that you need to check out. It's our 49ers Eagles prediction piece. Of course, tomorrow is when the actual prediction comes out. I can tell you that the 49ers will beat the Eagles right now in Javon Hargrave's return, which you should read about, but I can't give you the score prediction unless you subscribe to The Athletic and check out this article until tomorrow. So score prediction video coming. I think Margot's going to be part of that tomorrow. Make sure that you tune in for everything as we move forward into this huge game. The 49ers are aiming to move to 9-3. They can drop Philadelphia to 10-2. Then Dallas and the Eagles play next week. So it should all be a lot of fun. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. We will talk to you very soon.